All right, last one of the night. You guys ready?
Yay!
But before, that was a good band performance right there.
Yay!
You should know we're graduating one of our largest and one of our strongest senior classes, 27 kids leaving us, and that's a large number for that size sitting right there. We've got 60 of these little dudes signed up, so we are in good hands. We need this class. One of my favorite times of the year is the next few words that I tell you. It's my privilege and honor to introduce the 2014-15 Sweepstakes Award winners, Carthage High School, Adam, Bulldog Band. The fanfare we opened with was your Meister Singer fanfare, written by Wagner, followed by Front Section March, which is the march the band played at contests, concert sight reading contests, and that helped us get that bad boy right there, Sweepstakes. We're going to do things a little out of order. Most of y'all have been to our concerts before. You know that we usually end with some thank yous, but we're going to start with some thank yous, and you'll find out why a little bit later on. But number one, I've always said this ever since I've been in Carthage, but we have one of the best administrations of any school district around. And I don't say that because my bosses are here. If I didn't believe it, I just wouldn't say it at all. But those guys they don't work really hard for the band. They work hard for everybody. And it's hard to run a school district, and it's only getting harder every year. And they do a great job, from Dr. Hamrick to Mr. Avey to all of the principals at the other schools. Our administration is first class, and that's why this is first class. So administration, thank you guys very much. We've also got one of the most outstanding school boards. For instance, look at all the bonds that they just pushed through the past 6 or 7 years. We're getting a new auditorium. Probably there will be one more of these in here, and then you'll be sitting in a new 2,000-seat auditorium. And our school board does such a good job, and they do their job so smartly with the situation we're in money-wise. And so we appreciate all the wisdom that comes from our school board and their leadership. We've got several school board members here. If you'll please stand and let us thank you, school board members. All right, next up, the band's going to perform for you. Well, we were talking about what we wanted to play, and we started scratching our heads, and we're like, well, we're going to Disney World. Why don't we play some Disney music? So we found a little arrangement of some Disney film favorites. For those parents who have kids going on that trip, we've rescheduled our trip meeting for Monday at 7. So if you want to mark that in your calendars, Monday at 7, your trip meeting, and the band will now play for you Disney film favorites under the direction of Mr. Wade Hull. Do we have Lonnie Gibbs here today? Lonnie? Need you down there. Through that door right there. I'm going to keep going. I'll give you a few minutes to make your way down here. We had our band banquet about 2 weeks ago, and so we've kind of already done our high school awards. But let me tell you, these kids have accomplished so much this year. This has been, achievement-wise, the highest achieving band we've had in a good number of years. And kids are just working hard, they're growing up, they're maturing, they're taking care of their responsibilities in business. And it's just so exciting to see. I've known most of these kids since they were 6th grade, and it's just so rewarding to watch them grow. The world is going to be a better place with these kids when they get out there. And we appreciate all that they do for Carthage and our music program. Speaking of which, so I came to Carthage in 2008, and a little bit rough. We had a little bit low numbers, and we were working real hard and trying real hard. And every single performance, there was one dude that was like, "Come in!" And I appreciate all the enthusiasm Mr. Gibbs from over the years, and I know he's going to be at every football game he can, still cheering us on, but we wanted to award him with his honorary Carthage Band pin. You can't miss those overalls.
Yeah!
I don't have much practice. Speaking of some outstanding players, we're going to feature 2 of them now. We've got Emily Donald and Kate Sherman. And these 2 have been holding down the fort in the clarinet section for a good number of years now. And we were digging through the library. We found a piece called Clarinet Escapade. It's not a clarinet player, so I pulled it out. And I was like, they had to do all the work, and the band, we just kind of did our part. So here is Clarinet Escapades featuring Emily Donald, Kate Sherman. All right, at this time, we've got something very special that a lot of us have been waiting a long time for. This year, we played a march during marching season, and that march was called Centennial Celebration. And when I was in 9th or 10th grade, I got a CD. My dad was a band director, and I got a CD, and it was a Texas A&M marching band CD, and that march was on there. And I kind of didn't know anything about it. I didn't know it was any different than any other march. And it was written by a family friend, Tim Ray. And so we were talking about what we want to play this marching season this past summer. And I thought, I wonder what that march is like. And so I called Dr. Ray and said, hey man, can I get a copy of that march? And he was happy to sell it to me. He's a businessman too. And so, you know, we looked at it and I was like, yeah, it's gonna work. And so we worked on it. And my dad didn't raise a fool. I would never have played a march written by a guy who was going to judge our band at a contest. I'm just like, I don't know if that's a lack of confidence or what, but sure enough, when we went to the area marching contest, Dr. Ray was one of our judges, and I did not know that before that happened. I was like, oh my God. So we worked really hard, extra hard that week on that. And after the contest was over, he sent me a text message and was very complimentary of the way the band plays march. And he said, you know, I'd sure like to write a march for your band. I just think that highly of it. And I was like, dumb guy, I was like, that's pretty darn cool. This guy, the Texas A&M marching band director, wants to write a march for them. That's cool. And so went to Dr. Hamrick and I said, we've got a game plan. Can I have approval? And our game plan is that we have commissioned Dr. Ray to write 5 marches, 1 march per year for 5 years. And what we're going to do is we're going to dedicate those marches to our former director of bands, Carthage. And we're starting with that guy sitting over there, Mr. Raymond Thomas.
Yeah!
A very brief history of the Carthage band program. A long time ago, the band started, and it was okay. And then the band went from okay to not very good. Most people may not realize that because the band has won so many years. But the band was actually about 3rd division for a long while. And then they went through director change, and then came a guy called Stanley Walker. And if you're a band director, you know Stanley Walker. A really funny guy. But he did really good things. He started the band, and then Mr. Walker left. After a marching season in 1984, Mr. Thomas came to Carthage in the spring of, I said 84, that was 74. Sorry about my decade. You just look good for your age. I was going to say 74. So in 1975, second semester of 1975, Mr. Thomas comes to Carthage, and he and his band earned the first sweepstakes in 26 years. That's all great. But they kept winning sweepstakes after that. And in my opinion, it really set the standard in Carthage that we all aspire to each and every year. So when I get to stand before you and welcome the sweepstakes award-winning band, this man helped set that in motion. And so we are proud to honor Raymond Thomas with the first 5 marches written by Dr. Timothy Ray of Texas A&M University. This is titled Thomas Triumphant. There are not many times that we get to do a world premiere, but there's one of 5. At this time, we want to recognize Mr. Thomas. If you can come up over here, please, sir. While he's coming this way, yes. We do want to take a second and recognize Mr. Thomas's family. Coming from a band family myself, I understand the sacrifices that his family went through while he spent all his time in the band hall. So, Miss Jean, daughters and grandkids, stand up. Thank you. We're going to present Mr. Thomas with a plaque that reads recognizing Raymond Thomas for his service to Carthage ISD, Director of Bands, 1975 to 80 and 1991 to 92. Thomas Triumphal Premiere, May 28, 2015.
I don't know where Nick comes up with all these ideas of how to spend a little extra time and do things for the community and exes like me. But this was really nice. That's a great march, Mr. Raymond, and this band. Of course, it's just another something that they have to do, and I hopefully enjoy this. It's going to mean a lot. It's going to mean a lot to me. I just wanted to say that when I did come here. Me and my first wife, Jean. The band was struggling, but Mr. Walker had done so much to get it headed in the right direction. And we had a great school board and administration that just wanted the band to be good. And they helped us push right along. And of course, it's parents that have to, take the kids all the time and pick them up and all those hardships. We had them back then, I'm sure you have them now, but that all paid off. The kids wanted to be good, and they got good, and they stayed good, they really have. And I also want to thank K-Gas, Jerry and Wanda, and we've had some publicity over the years that these guys have done for the band. They're in everything. Keep you informed of what's going on, and things like that have really helped us a lot. And I appreciate this honor, Mr. Durham's.
We sure appreciate you coming out to support the band and your students tonight, or your kids, our students. Thank you for sharing them with us. I don't know if we babysit or you share. Yeah, whatever it works out well for everybody. So we love them. We love you for giving them to us for the time that we had it. Again, thank you to KGAS. They are always in our backyard and all for the right reasons. Please don't forget that trip meeting for Disney is Monday, 7 p.m. High School Band Hall. Anybody who would like to stay and help take this back to band hall, you're more than welcome. Please. And at this time, we're going to invite Mr. Raymond Thomas to the podium. And if you'll please stand and join Mr. Thomas and the Carthage High School Band for the Carthage High School alma mater.